Well, Max, look at this. A fantastic location. What is it like living here?
It's really nice for me to live here. Just the quality of life, food, training, like it's perfect to go around here. Weather most of the time is good, even though last few weeks, like leading up to the Grand Prix, hasn't been ideal, but normally, yeah, it's pretty good here in the summer.
Let's take it back to Baku, particularly the sprint race. You were quite vocal after that race about what you thought. I personally had my own opinions.
And there's a tangle there between Geroge Russell and Max Verstappen.
I was quite surprised actually that, you know, Max is saying George was taking risks, but I think he was also taking risks, and I think in a day like today, Max has a little bit more to lose than George does.
Of course, you always look back, but honestly, when I look back at it, for me, it's still exactly the same thing. You know, these kind of things, they're behind now. I just wanted to question it.
Mate, we all have no grip. You all need to leave a little bit of space. But expect the next time the same, you know?
I didn't like his response, which can happen. When you have a conversation with someone and you don't like his response, you also tell him off.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. Of course, in F1, there are a lot of cameras around, but I'm absolutely fine with George.
I've known you for a long time. Racing has been in your life forever. So it does really surprise me when you say you don't want to be in Formula One, potentially past your current contract, which is 2028, you potentially still don't see yourself staying. Can you reassure your fans at home that that's not the case?
No, well, I love racing. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't be on the simulator at home doing other kinds of stuff. But that's exactly the thing. I also like to do other kinds of racing, not only Formula One. And yeah, I know that I'll be 31 when that's the end of the contract. I like to be competitive, I like to win. But if you can't fully motivate yourself to get to every race, then I think that's the point where you have to question yourself, do you really want to continue?
Yeah.
And like I said, I love doing Le Mans, I love doing other 24-hour races, like I love watching the GT3 cars go around the Nordschleife, you know, so all these kind of things I do want to experience in my life, and I don't want to do them when I'm 40 or 50, because then I'm not at the peak of my performance, and when I'm 31, I'm pretty sure that I'm still capable of doing great things, so yeah, I don't want to, when I'm at that age, travel 25 races a year, and besides that, travel to the UK again for simulator work, or do an appearance or commitment here and there. It's too much at one point. You know, I started driving when I was 4.5, competitively at 7. At one point, it just, you're like, I think it's enough, you know, to be away that much a year.
So a competitive car could potentially keep you in Formula One longer. Let's say you're 31 and Red Bull is dominating. What do you do?
I think it will be very hard to leave, for sure.
Okay, well, I understand that. You clearly are very passionate about racing. As you say, this potential change is not necessarily to say you're not going to keep racing.
I will continue.
Continue
just
racing.
Maybe not in F1, but we'll see.
Team Red Bull doesn't have a lot of competition from the other teams. So the main competition for you guys right now is internally between you and Checo on track. What is that like at the moment? Yeah,
I think that's what we always wanted, right? To be the dominant team. But we know that this weekend is, I think, a little bit different. You could already see in Baku, I think, Charles, you know, together with Ferrari, they were very strong over one lap. Checo's having a great start to the year. We've had a lot of street circuits as well.
Yes.
It's a bit of a different driving style as well you need. And probably my driving style leans a little bit more towards the normal tracks, but still, you know, F1 on street circuits, it's not really a problem or a big deal.
Well, you mentioned it, we've had quite a lot of street circuits this season so far, but this really is, I mean, the holy grail, isn't it?
This is definitely one you want to win, at least once. Luckily, I've done that already, but yeah, it's always very different to other street circuits as well, you know. Your heart rate is just higher than any other track, because to go to the limit here, like being so close to the guardrail, it's really tough.
Yeah. Thank you so much for hosting me here. I was really looking forward to jumping in the pool, but it looks like there's no water.
I think you have to wear a helmet this time. Yeah, otherwise you're going to hurt your head.
Well, good luck this weekend. Have some fun out there. Potentially another win.
We'll try.